Hello everyone, welcome to my lasagna recipe. It's super easy. You're gonna need 1 pound of Italian sausage. If you can't find it already out of the sausage, you can actually buy the actual sausages and just cut the meat out. 1 pound of ground beef, some mozzarella, you can use fresh ones, I could use shredded ones too, some parsley, parmesan, 15 ounces of ricotta, minimum 6 cloves of garlic, about 30 ounces of crushed tomatoes, about 15 ounces of tomato sauce, and just 6 ounces of tomato paste, your lasagna noodles of your choice, and 1 white onion. Step 1, we're just going to chop up the 1 whole white onion into little bits. It doesn't have to be perfect, just small. Step, we're going to crush and chop minimum 6 cloves of garlic. Minimum. I'm going to use like 12 here. You want to crush these with a knife, or if you're a little scared of doing that, you can actually take a coffee mug and just smash them all individually, and it does the same thing. Next up, we're going to chop some parsley. I've never measured how much. I just grab a bunch and get to chopping. You can add some of the stem to it, but you want to be careful not to add too much because it can be a little bit bitter. And then you're going to put that in a separate bowl from the garlic and onions. With those chopping done, that's basically all the prep work you have to do beforehand. Bring 1 egg out and let it just get to room temperature for as long as you can. It'll just make the consistency of the ricotta filling better. All right, next up, we're going to toss our meats, both of them, into a pan and try to get one as wide as you can. You want as much surface area as you can so that it has room to breathe and let the steam release upwards, and that'll let it brown. Actually, if it's too thin of a pan, it'll just get soggy and really wet, and you don't want that. You'll want to get the heat as high as you can and just let the pan heat up first. You don't need oil or anything. If you add oil, it'll get wet and soggy and gross. So just get it nice and hot, and then you're gonna toss the meats in and just let it sit for a couple of minutes. The more you touch it, the wetter it's gonna be. It's not gonna brown as nicely. So just let it in, give it a quick mix, and then forget about it for like 3 minutes. All right, I just tossed the 2 meats directly into the pan. I'm just gonna give it a quick mix. You don't have to worry about getting it actually mixed up. You just wanna get it as flattened as you can so that more surface area touches the pot or pan, whatever works. You do want to use Italian sausage. It gives the meat sauce so much more depth of flavor than just using straight up all beef. All right, that looks decent enough. I'm just gonna let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. If you burn it a little bit, that's fine. That actually adds a lot of flavor, so bye. All right, it's been 5 minutes, I don't know. It should start looking like a little bit brown on the edge. That's exactly what you want. And you can take 1 or 2. I find using 2 of these easier. And you're gonna start finally breaking it up and mixing it. Alrighty, the meat is nice and brown. It's all mixed up, so it's nice and evenly spread. Once that is there, you're gonna add all your onions and the garlic. Whoa. Give this a nice mix. And you'll know you're ready for the next step when the onions get a bit translucent. So I'll see you then. Bye. All right, the onions are a bit translucent and they're not melting, and the meat is brown, so it's a great time to add our tomato paste. We're gonna do this one first specifically because we're just gonna add the 6 ounces in there, and then we're gonna mix it and let it coat every piece of meat in there, and it's gonna get a lot of flavor. I need 2 hands for this, so sorry, bye. Okay, and sorry, I keep saying bye. I'm gonna be combining all these little clips together into one video, so it's really stupid. But yeah, take it. 6 ounces of tomato paste is inside. I'm just gonna mix it really well. And once it's all coated, we're just gonna add the rest of our tomato bases that we have, which would be the crushed tomatoes and the tomato sauce. Doesn't matter what order you do that in. Just toss it all in, and then we're gonna get ready to season it. All right, I added all the cans of stuff in here and just gonna mix it up. Nice and easy, and then we're gonna start seasoning this. You're gonna add salt, pepper, I like chili flakes. If you have herbs, Italian seasoning is great. You're just gonna add whatever you think tastes good for you. This is where you can customize it. It's just gonna really depend on your taste. Just season a little bit, let it simmer for 2 minutes, give it a taste, and then add more after if you need it. Okay. I won't say bye. So forgot to mention, along with the salt, pepper, chili, herbs, whatever you want to add, you also want to add about a tablespoon or two of just granulated sugar. Without it, it's not going to make it sweet, but it's going to help cut through all the acid from the tomatoes. Once you have it all seasoned well, just pop a lid on it because it's going to splash like crazy on like lowish heat. Just let it sit, and we're going to start with our cheese sauce. We're going to do the cheese sauce. We're going to add that whole tub of ricotta. I believe that's 15 ounces. We're going to add all the parsley that we chopped up earlier. It's going to look like a lot, but it's not. And then we're going to season this with salt, pepper, and that's it. You can also add like a squeeze of lemon to help really lift and elevate the sauce, but I don't have any. So whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to salt and pepper this and then just give it a mix with a fork. I forgot the 1 egg as well. I'm just going to mix this. You don't want to mix it too like aggressively or fast because you're going to whip too much air into it. Just mix it like, you know, not a caveman. Okay. For the lasagna noodles, just follow the directions on your package because they're all going to cook a little bit differently. And you just want it to get to al dente. The important part of this is you want to make sure you actually rinse the pasta after taking it out. Normally you would never do that for other pastas, but for lasagna, since we're going to continue cooking it in the oven, it's going to keep cooking even though it's out of the water. So just rinse it, give it a quick rinse, rinse with cold water. I don't have a really big pot, so I'm using a pan. It's fine. All right, the pasta noodles are basically ready. It's better to undercook than overcook these. I'm just gonna pour the water straight into my sink and then just pour running cold water over it and then just drain that. And then we're ready to assemble. We're gonna start assembling. The first layer, while we're assembling, preheat your oven to 375. It's 375. All right, first layer is gonna be the sauce. This is gonna keep everything moist as the heat rises. Gonna try to do this with one hand while I'm working. So super easy, super good. All right, there you go. Nothing fancy, just a nice thin layer on the bottom, just completely covered. After that, we're gonna do 1 layer of noodles. So you're gonna do 4 across usually. If they overlap, that's totally fine. I need both hands for that though. BRB. So my noodles were like pathetically short, so I just put a fifth one on the end. Really doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. But okay, we're gonna add 1 layer of the cheese. You're gonna use about half of it. So go ahead and just split it in half as best you can and then pour it in and smooth it out. BRB. All right, again, it doesn't have to be pretty, just put half of it and spread it as best you can. And then you're gonna put 1 more layer of sauce here. So about 1/4 of it. And on top of that, we're gonna go with noodles again. Since I used a 5th noodle on the far right side, I'm just gonna do the same thing but on the left side next time. That way it's not like overly noodly on one side for no reason. All right, and once I do that, I will show you where I'm at. All right, so on top of that sauce I put down, you saw, I'm putting my layer of noodles, and then I'm gonna put the remaining cheese, and then sauce again. All right, so that's the last of the ricotta. I know some people don't like ricotta for some reason in their lasagna, but maybe they just had bad ones. But if you still don't like it, just grow the fuck up. So on top of that last layer of ricotta was the sauce. I'm gonna do the final layer of noodles. And it's really important to make sure you cover every piece of the noodles with the last of the sauce as well. If anything sticks out, it's gonna turn into like the driest, nastiest, crustiest thing you've ever eaten. So just be careful. Yum! Okay, all the cheese is ready and it's ready to go to the oven. We're gonna cover this with foil and we're gonna bake it at 375 again for 30 minutes, just a half an hour. After that, we're gonna take the foil off and just keep baking it for another like 15-ish minutes. And then I'll see you then. Bye. All right, everything's in for the most part. That piece right there with a little bit of noodle showing, that's what I give to my enemies or like my least favorite cousin. After this, you're just gonna smother it in mozzarella cheese. If you have the sliced one, that technically usually works better. Sometimes I like to do like blobs of the shredded ones in like the portion sizes, or you can just evenly cover it. It's totally up to you. After I put the mozzarella cheese on, I'm going to also coat it with like a thin layer of shaved Parmesan. It browns really well and it just becomes like nice and crispy and golden. So Very good. 1 second. All right, it's been baking for a half an hour at, once again, 375. All I'm gonna do is take the foil off. Oh yeah. And let this keep baking for about another 15 to 20 minutes. You basically want to keep going until, shut up, man. Don't look at the dishes, that's from the prep. Look forward to that shit. You'll break it for like 15 to 20 minutes until the cheese is like nice and starts bubbling. And then we're gonna broil it for 2 to 3 minutes just to nicely like crisp it. Okay. All right, this part is important, guys. I put it on broil for about 3 minutes after it baked that last round for about 15 to 20 minutes. It's nice and golden. Important, you want to let it sit for about 15 minutes. I know it feels like forever, but if you don't wait, it's gonna fall apart like your dilapidated used butthole. Enjoy!